time from the heavy metal genre, and we are talking about, I would say, one of my absolute favorite metal bands ever, and for sure my most beloved band from Germany. Sure, we have Rammstein, we had Scorpions, yeah, which I would more consider hard rock than metal. So really new wave of British heavy metal style, a la Judas Priest. We have one entity from Germany which sounding really similar to what Judas Priest did, and it is Accept, by far not that well known worldwide, but in an interview the wrestler Stone Cold Steve Austin once did, when he was asked about his most beloved metal bands, because the interviewer knew he was a metal fan, and yes, Stone Cold did say Accept. Don't forget Accept, yeah, they are from early 80s from Germany, often overseen, and they are amazing and so on. Then yeah, I can totally go concur with Stone Cold, and not because Accept is from Germany. It's a nice adding when someone out of your country does deliver such amazing music, but it's not the most important thing. Yeah, I like Judas Priest a little bit more, and they are from Britain. But being the second best, if you could call that, depending on the day, I would say they are as good as Judas Priest to me. Yeah. They have a high amount of amazing songs, and yeah, I did pick out my 4 albums I have from Accept, and listen to them completely yesterday and today, and did pick out the highlights for me. Mostly I get 4 really great songs out of these albums. Yeah, and yeah, Accept started in the like we know Accept started in the early 70s. The first 3 albums I don't even have. Some bands simply need some time till they find their style, which when they have their breakthrough. And I would say Breaker isn't quite it. That's the third one, but the fourth album, yeah, Restless and Wild. With this album from 80 to 83, they found their style, and it's that typical. They were on tour with Judas Priest as a frontliner at the time, so it fitted in. It was perfectly new wave of British heavy metal style, and if you love that, yeah, it doesn't hardly get better as Accept. Sure, the main guy and the vocalist, Udo Dirkschneider, he has a special voice, yeah, which you don't hear all the time every day. He is an Bon Scott on steroids, I would say. Yeah. It's that kind of voice, and sure, many don't like that. They are liking a deeper voice, whatever. Yeah. But if yeah, if Udo can get you, yeah, with his singing, yeah, the rest of the band is doing from their guitar sounds, that's yeah, that's pure magic. That's really 100% pure heavy metal. Yeah, there's nothing left from rhythm and blues, rock and roll. That's that typical style, you would say, that Judas Priest style. And yeah, they are not that far behind Priest, so yeah, I wouldn't say they are cheap clones or something like that. These songs are really well done, and the vocalist is totally different as Rob Halford. I love them both. So the songs I actually did pick from the first album. The side A was stronger on this. Is the title song itself, Restless and Wild. Then Shake Your Heads and Neon Nights. And from side B, the first four songs were not that strong from side B, but the last one, Princess of the Dawn. That's one I also included in that little best of. Let's listen to the first album, yeah, of first album I have from my collection, yeah. Totally cool album. And the next one, yeah, 1 year later, from '84, is there. I would say it's the Michael Jackson Thriller of Accept. So what I mean with that, it doesn't get any better than what they did put together on Balls to the Wall. It's such a strong album, yeah, that they, in my opinion, were never capable of redoing that. That's sometimes the problem of an artist. Yeah, Michael Jackson had to fight that problem too. Yeah, that Thriller was such a masterpiece, and yeah, overdoing that, it's really tough. Yeah, and I would say the following albums of Accept were still really nice, but this one is a masterpiece in my opinion. Maybe one of the absolute strongest metal albums ever worldwide, because it's all you could in a best of you could simply play the entire album. There isn't a bad song on it, yeah. And it was a little bit more difficult to me for these kind of best ofs, yeah, to exclude songs, yeah. But yeah, I did manage it. Yeah, the first song which have to be in it, sure, would be the title song Balls to the Wall. That's yeah, most famous song. Head Over Heels, also amazing song. The beginning of that song, that rhythm from the guitar, love it, absolutely love it. Losing More Than You Ever Had, also an amazing song. Love Child was first in it. I did film it, but it got out of hand. It's too many songs, and I would say with the rest, Love Child, I did exclude in the end. Yeah, but Please Turn Me On. I like that song more, and then I knew, okay, leave that in and exclude, to take Love Child out. And Winter Streams, the last song, also had to be in it, yeah, because it's a little bit of different style, a nice melodic metal song, yeah, and yeah, sure, Dirk shows that he can sing too, yeah. It's not only his screaming style. Sure, yeah, sure, it's his voice. You have to like it, you have to love it. I love it, and so this album is a total killer for me. That's I couldn't name you a Judas Priest album which I like more. I like the band in total more, but from a single album, this is the best. I would say, with so many great, amazing songs. Phew, that's hard to beat. So let's listen.
You must do the brains. You may sacrifice them too. You may modify their flesh. You may rape them all. One day they torture to stand up and revolt against evil. They make you drink your blood and tear yourself to pieces. You better watch it down. They're gonna It's like someone is here. Gotta follow now. Like being in a trance for me. There's silence here. More than noise. When in the dark head overheats, hot head overheats, takes the hardest things in the day and night. When in the dark head overheats, hot head overheats, takes the hardest things in. Oh yeah! Man, you're trying for what you've lost, but never had, 'cause you've been losing more than you ever had. Man, stop longing for the girl you made so sad, always losing for
amazing album. As I said, it was their top, in my opinion, career highlight. So the next one, yeah, from '85, Metal Heart, was a little bit of a, for me, a little bit of a step down, but still their style is still alive. Even as far as I understood, they changed it a little bit to get it more yeah, US friendly to the US listener, because they wanted to discover more ground in America. Not sure if they were successful. I don't think so. The huge amount of breakthrough, I think they didn't have in America. So this album didn't help, but it's still really nice. Sounding a little bit different, that LP. It's in German German First Press 2. It's the bass is a little bit missing here. Not sure if it's a pressing problem and the UK or US version would sound much different. Not sure. Yeah, they did focus a little bit more on the higher mids and highs. It sounds a little bit more transparent, more clearer than the others. Yeah, a little bit, and some of the lower stuff is missing here. Yeah, I think because it's a German first pressing, it was produced in Germany. I guess that's simply the sound of that album. It's still great, but yeah, that was a thing I during the listen session I did realize, yeah, that's different in that style. Yeah, but the album is still great. The title song itself, Metal Heart, had to be in it. Midnight Mover, also Screaming for a Love Bite, and Dogs on Leads. These were the four songs I did pick from Metal Hearts. Yeah, so let's listen. my collection would be the Russian roulette, I would say, with from when it comes to the cover art. That's the most beautiful cover for me. Really like that. It's always in front of my Accept collection, not because it's the best album, but because of the cover art. Yeah. After that little try with Metal Hearts to discover more the US taste, I think they tried to get back to the balls to the walls, to their roots, with this album. And not sure if the entire band was really happy with that. I think there was some sort of trouble and breakup after that, which was really sad. This album is still good, not as good as the others. It's the weakest of my four, I would say. Still happy I have it. It's a German first press. It sounds really well, so I'm happy with that. But you already could hear that everything what you love is still there, but it's repeating. And sure, rediscovering yourself, reinventing yourself, that's a really hard task. And to me, the journey for Accept did, for me as a collector, did end with the Russian roulette from '86. I did pick up some songs there too. It was a little bit easier there, but it's a Monster Man, still a great song. Russian roulette, the title song itself, was great. The amazing highlight in the song during the middle of the song. And It's Hard to Find a Way. These were the three songs I did like the most, and it's only three. Different game as with Balls to the Wall, So, but still worth buying. So let's listen.
It's alright, but I feel the weakness now of living with the line. Imagine the feelings that I'm burning in hate, 'cause I can't stand you hurting me the same way I hurt you.
in total 4 amazing, absolutely amazing albums with many great songs on it, and especially for my taste, I can listen to these songs forever. I have listened to them over the last 30 years multiple times, and I still enjoying them as on the first day. That's it's sometimes it's difficult. I would say the style Guns N' Roses had amazing songs, but I can't listen to Guns N' Roses albums each day. I need some sort of break, going away for some weeks, months, and then enjoying it. But Accept is music for me. I can listen every day to it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and this one I also wanted to mention. Udo Dirk Schneider did go in his solo project then. Accept did continue without Udo. Both have till this day they have so many albums. Hard to overview them all, but this is one I did pick from 2005, I think. Yeah, the Mission Number 10, Mission Number X. Especially because of the song Cry, Soldier Cry. I did check it before, and YouTube did allow me to upload the entire song. Because that's such a special song. It's completely, when I think about Udo, that's his most beautiful, amazing song. Yeah, and it's from his solo project, not from Accept. I love that song. Yeah, it's a 5-minute song. There are different parts in it. Yeah, different styles. You even have the bagpipes at the end. That's such a beautiful song, and the lyrics. Take the time and listen to the lyrics. It's a totally anti-war song. I always think about the war in Stalingrad, between Germany and Russia. When I think about that song, not sure which war Udo had in mind, if some special war at all, but it's an amazing anti-war song. Such a sad song, but amazingly done. And I will pick I couldn't, because it is long and it has different amazing parts. It was the only song I was not able to cut it somehow down in a minute for you. So the absolute highlight of the song, because the entire song changes a little bit. It's amazing, yeah. And I'm glad that YouTube does allow the entire song. That's why I want to put this one song at the end, and you enjoy that too. I love that. I hope you enjoy it too. And so maybe some listeners who are not aware of Accept found this interesting and will discover more of the band. Buying some albums from them, whatever. That would be great to open that market more up, the knowledge about Accept, because like I said, it's with Priest is the absolute highlight when it comes to new wave of British heavy metal, and that's saying something. They are the best with Priest. I would leave it with that till the next video, and have a nice rest of the week. Bye.
don't you cry, soldier, cry. Another letter, you should know better. Cry, soldier, cry. There will be sorrow until tomorrow, so cry, soldier, cry. Don't you cry, soldier, cry. Another letter, you should know better. Cry, soldier, cry. There will be sorrow until tomorrow, so cry, soldier, cry. Don't you cry, soldier, cry. Another letter, you should know better.